Hi there, I'm DJ Alex Brown. In today's gig log, I'll be doing the wedding of Mike and Heather here at the Hope Club in Providence, Rhode Island. The wedding today is actually under 50 guests total. This is a December wedding, so it's sort of out of season, and it's definitely a smaller wedding. I'll be providing services today for primarily the reception, but also just a basic sound system for the ceremony as well. I won't be providing any services for the cocktail hour. There are some interesting bits about the wedding today that I want to share with you once I start to talk about the ceremony and the reception setup and things and go over those. Let's chat quickly about the ceremony setup. So for the ceremony, this was actually added pretty last minute. Originally I wasn't going to be providing any speakers or microphones or anything for the ceremony, but the bride Heather contacted me on Sunday and asked me if I could provide just a speaker to play back a recording. They actually had Bruce Buffer record a voiceover. So the only thing really as far as equipment that I needed for the ceremony was just a single speaker with a wire to be able to plug something in to play the recording. So we just finished up with the ceremony. The announcement was played before the wedding party came down and into the ceremony. They have a violin quartet playing the music for the ceremony, and then they are also currently playing the music for the cocktail hour. So this was super simple, which is nice. And a couple of quick notes on the ceremony. It actually ran ahead of schedule. So we started the announcement at, I think, 4:55. The ceremony was supposed to start at 5 o'clock. So the ceremony ended at around 5:18. Cocktail hour was planned to be 5:30 to 6:30. So I'm curious if we're going to push things up a little bit, serve dinner a little bit earlier, which is not typical, but if they do have it run on schedule, like everything seems to be today, then that would be great. If you've heard me in some of my other videos, you've probably heard me mention that food never runs on time, it's always behind. That might actually be changed here today, and I say always, but it's not necessarily always. There are a few instances where it does run on time, but it's pretty rare. With that said, the cocktail hour is going on right now, and here's a little clip of what the cocktail hour looks like right now. My reception setup for the wedding today is also very straightforward. The bride really just wanted a basic package with some lights, and as I've been to this venue before, I know how much light is needed in the ballroom for dancing and such, and in this case the 4 wash lights are more appropriate for the size of the wedding and the ballroom that we're in. I've used the 4 light T-bar in the ballroom here before, so that's why I recommended it to the bride. Most of the people watching this video have probably seen the glow tower lighting that I offer and use pretty commonly. That's also something that would go well in this venue, but it really depends on where the DJ setup ends up being, because the glow tower lighting does require a bit of additional room, and sometimes, depending on the size of the wedding, that's not always possible in here. I'm using my Yorkville PS12P speakers in the ballroom today, and I also have my Yorkville PS12S subwoofer to add a little bit of extra bass. Personally, I find that the Yorkville speakers that I have sound better in larger rooms with high ceilings, just because of the way they work, and that sub will also help with providing a little bit of extra kick in the sound system. I also just wanted to mention that for the reception for their entrances, I will not actually be announcing their entrances today. For the wedding party, they actually have another Bruce Buffer recording that is going to be used to do the announcements for the wedding party introduction. So that does take a little bit off of what I need to do. I will still be announcing toasts and things like that. It's pretty easy to incorporate that recording into the setup, so it wasn't a problem for me to do. This was also told to me at about the same time that we coordinated the recording for the ceremony. One specific feature that I really like as a DJ about this venue, especially for it being sort of in the heart of Providence, is that there is a driveway in the back that leads right to the ballroom, and it's just enough space to park, and it's about a 5-foot walk into the door of the ballroom, which makes it really easy to get equipment in. That was also especially important for today because I actually had to set up a marquee letter rental earlier before coming here, at the Providence G Ballroom. This is part of the business that I actually just purchased, which is It's Lit RI. I'll be leaving some information to that business in the description of the video. That is a service that I am now offering in addition to my DJ services, but also as a separate service. So now we're going to head into the introductions. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, there is no announcements from me for the introductions. We're going to go directly from the introductions, and right after the bride and groom come in, they'll share their first dance, and then we'll have the toasts, and then the first course will be served. So we'll be running on a pretty quick schedule for that portion of the night, but all that stuff will be out of the way early, which is nice. Okay guys, so we just finished up with the wedding party introductions. As I mentioned earlier in the video, we went directly into the first dance and then went directly into the 3 toasts. The last toast was given by the couple's daughter, Chloe, who had a really, really heartfelt and touching toast. And there was a lot of crying, not only from Chloe. Everything went super smooth. It did take a little longer than I would have expected. We finished up the introductions, the toasts, and the couple's first dance at about 7 o'clock, which means that from 6:30 to 7 o'clock was pretty much the introductions and the toasts and everything. But what is nice is that those things are now out of the way, and all we have to worry about is the bouquet toss and cake cutting later, which probably both of those are going to be done about an hour into dancing. Other than that, I'll be seeing you back after the wedding to do a quick recap. Hey guys, so I apologize for the low light here. Everything with the wedding went pretty well. We did have to rearrange some things because the catering took very long to get the food out. They also had essentially a 4-course meal. There was sort of 2 entrees, which was very interesting. That's not something I see very often, but that did slow things down quite a bit. So we had to rearrange a couple things with Heather. She proved all those things, so that was great. Everything went very smoothly. The dancing was kind of on and off. Some people were on the dance floor a lot, and some people weren't on the dance floor as much. The older guests, there were a lot of older guests that didn't really seem like they wanted to dance, partially because the bride's music that she wanted to hear was not really their style as far as dancing. And there was only about an hour and a half of dancing, mostly just because of the dinner running pretty much way over schedule. But besides that, everything went well tonight. Once again, congratulations to Mike and Heather. And that's gonna wrap this video up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up on the video, and leave me a comment if you have any questions. Until next time, peace.